ahead, but then failed to do absolutely anything with it. And it was very, very disappointing. Ended up losing that game in a long, drawn-out fist fight. But we're on to the Rift for game number 4 of the day 4x4.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see Grell. He has been such a breath of fresh air, obviously, for this Vivocade roster that made 3 roster swaps. The man you see down in the bottom lane, Crastiel, traditionally a mid laner. He's been in the scene since 2015, and when he was an amateur in 2014, he was a support. But that was kind of he played the supportive style mid laners, to use one of those cliches. But it is one thing to have the macro knowledge to be a supportive style mid laner, and you say, oh, well, that would translate naturally to support. And that's not wrong. But there are so many other things. Playing with a partner, learning so many matchups, right? Just differently. You have to think about the game differently, right? And especially on an enchanter support versus an engaged support. But it's unquestionable that this Vivocade roster has looked way better, even though the wins haven't come at the clip that they were hoping. They look re-energized. There are no such thing as moral victories, but if there were,
the losses have not been as demoralizing, right?
Exactly.
Like they've been or maybe they have been more demoralizing depending on your definition.
Yeah, fair.
40-minute slugfest losses, like the one against Kaboom where the One didn't work out 4x4. But yeah, it's been a tough season for Vivocade, and I mean, to be honest, their composition here, they've really just thrown everything at the wall. It feels like I was talking about their skirmish identity, and with the Yone R5. That is so strongly continued, but Grell did exactly what I wanted in picking a way to start fights. And really what it comes down to is, can Vivocade blow up one of these lanes and get somebody really far ahead? But the problem that we've been seeing from them, as we sort of alluded to, is they've been able to do that, but they've struggled immensely in the later stage of the game. Guigo, though.
My goodness, waited out the flash and then went right back in. Here it flashed away. He took one step backward. Guigo said, nah, you're mine.
I'm really surprised that there was just a level 1 solo kill right here in this matchup. Hear it. An uncharacteristic mistake. Loses his flash, loses his life. That is a huge first blood. I mean, already if we're talking about getting one of these lanes ahead, having that side lane presence, that is one way to do it. And Los Grandes, not really talking a lot about their composition because of how standard it is, but really all it is Ranger and Lava, they want to get moving around the map, play to one of these side lanes, and look to influence. But with Here falling behind, that's going to make that so much more difficult. So a great start for Vivocade already, and Guigo already going to try to assert his dominance on this lane.
Yeah, he's taken no prisoners. But this again has never been the issue for Vivocade. Into Los Grandes, I agree. That's kind of the story here, because we've seen Guigo and Grevthar get themselves ahead. The solo laners for Vivocade have never been the issue, even in the dark days a few weeks ago. But Hirit and Lava losing these, that is maybe not completely uncommon. We'll see what Ranger has to say about it, though. Able to sidestep the Counter-Strike, and this might be history for Guigo. It doesn't have a flash, but it does have a ward hop. You forget about that sometimes. Ranger flashing forward, gets the Conqueror up. One more auto, empowers that bad boy, and sends Guigo to the gray screen.
It's a really nice gank from Ranger to salvage the top lane a little bit for Hirit. And again, you just don't want to let that Jax really get going. And there's no counterpunch from Grell on the bottom side either. I feel like it's the first game that I've casted in a very long time 4x4 where junglers aren't like Unga Bunga 3-camp bot like every 5 minutes, right?
To use a technical term.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Because that is what jungle has been, right? I mean, it has just been the 3-camp bot, run it down, and hope for the best. And I mean, Grell is still shadowing in the area. It is Steps and Crastiel actually getting a pretty favorable trade, but Netunio having taken the first base and Steps being out of mana, I don't think there's any play down here, and it ends up just being a fairly even game state across the board.
Now Grell looking to make something happen. Lava playing on the correct side of the lane, given how much he has warded. Grell is double buffed. He has 2 Qs. Grevthar not able to land the knockup, though. The Abscond almost took him into a dangerous direction, but Grell not able to make it happen. Relieve some pressure from Grevthar. Yeah, these lanes pretty even, like you said, thanks to the pressure relieving ganks. You're seeing junglers play defense a little bit. And yeah, it's maybe it's not Unga Bunga bot because partially Guigo was asserting his dominance, right? And Ranger said, well, I need to Unga Bunga top.
And I mean, part of the analysis too from Los Grandes might be, hey, these solo laners, they've been the problems for Vivocade. They've been the best parts, as you alluded to, 4x4. And so, I mean, Ranger just going to clear towards top lane. He's wrapping around on Grevthar right now, who is half HP and needs to crash this wave. And it's a very dangerous position, and I think this makes a lot of sense. Netunio going to be able to scale up and be a huge team fight threat, so why not fight around the more volatile lanes where we've got a lot of melee carries, supports, and even Steps making appearances in mid lane, just everyone calling up their guys and saying like, hey, I gotta have equal numbers just in case a fist fight breaks out.
And the wave was in a nice spot, but Netuno putting it in even a nicer spot, potentially. Well, actually, that might swing and crash the other way for now, but it was in a good little freeze spot. But yeah, it's that classic, it's a Nami support room. Man, we've all been there, right?
Wave pushing away, though, and Netuno, they don't have any vision. They have to know that Grell's probably in the area. Here they go.
Yep, here they go, going right in. Grell, waiting on the Q, going in on to Zay. I was questioning why hold on to it so long? Going on Netuno, man, you got two, but he was going for the surefire thing, and with the ignite from steps, it was indeed just that.
Yeah, really nice gank right there. Zay jukes into the bandage toss, and Guigo also getting aggressive on to hear it. Ranger is snuck into the river, has Prio from Lava. There might be a fight.
Ooh, baby, yeah, he finds Grell, and now Grell tougher. He talked about a Mumu. He could struggle into these skirmishing jungle matchups, but now Lava has the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Grell needs a bandage toss to get away. Netuno, man, this dude is everywhere.
Flash.
This is not what I expected. Bam, there he goes. Lava, flash, ult, kill.
Really nice stuff. Los Grandes, instead of cross-mapping, they spring the trap right onto Grell, who wanted to get the pushing Lava, but who's punishing who? Once again, Ranger clapping back after a nice play from Vivocade, keeping the game very even.
It's been back and forth. Punches thrown. The jungler's been active. Maybe not in the way we expected again, but yeah, making plays around the map.
Mumu getting involved, right? Like,
yeah,
that's pretty good. You know, that's always what you like to see out of Grell. I'm here for it. He's even got the blasting wands. This is gonna be a demonic embrace. Giga Chat of Mumu coming through as Grell. I mean, I totally see the angle, right? Lava about 3/4 HP, but unfortunately, just doesn't have track of Ranger. I'm almost certain the read was that he would be pressuring topside, but unfortunately, Los Grandes, the trap was just better, and Lava with that Curse of the Sad Mummy is so strong. And I mean, 4x4, I will say, you know, we're praising Vivocade for some of the plays they've been able to find, but Los Grandes being able to counterpunch like this, their composition absolutely scales better. They have the Jace, they have the Zeri. It's Vivocade that needs to keep this game at a quick clip, at a high tempo, to be able to continue to force plays and get ahead. And so far, yes, they're marginally ahead, but it's not really coming to fruition. Now, I say this every game, but with Herald being on the map right about now, this is going to be the moment in which a lot of games explode, especially here in the CBLOL, but anywhere around the world. Teams love to fight for this objective, but instead, Los Grandes, they're going to give this one up and look to just counterpunch on the bottom side.
Yeah, Gigo got that nice shove onto here at up top, dropped a pink ward in the brush. He knows he's safe. Grevthar doing his thing, keeping Lava pressured under his tower. So that was an uncontested Herald, like he said. He said the gold lead relatively even, but if we zoom out, right, it's not quite that simple, because an early game lead for certain compositions, not all early game leads are created equal, I think it could be said, right? And I had a broader point that I was going to make, and oh, I'm just so gosh darn sad that I have forgotten it, but that's okay. Cross-mapping, though.
Best of us, you know?
Yeah. Here comes Ranger now. On the other side, responding in kind. He's got himself a Hextech Drake. Now Crastiel maybe going for the, or Steps rather, going for the all-in. Dumps the calling into Zai. Now he's going to have to back off. He doesn't have his heal, but he does have Flash. Netuno's got his as well. And they're recognizing that maybe something's coming here. Crastiel doing a little wave manipulation. Grevthar not going to go up into this big old wave. Ranger in immediately. Double ultimate. Whoa. They're both thinking the same thing. One on offense, one on defense. Oh, Grevthar went right back in. Maybe he shouldn't have, but he did force the flash out of Ranger there. He is incredibly low. Grell has level 6, but doesn't have flash. Not confident about what he might find on the other side of that brush, especially with Grevthar a little low, so just going to opt to handle the wave here.
Grevthar with the reaction time right there. Okay, I see that. The ult was so clean to get out of dodge before the CC came in, and then griefed it maybe a little bit by Eing afterwards and having to lose his flash. But either way, really nice escape from Grevthar, being able to get the wave in. That is a pretty huge survival, I have to say, for the mid laner Vivocade, with what was a nice setup from Los Grandes. And now everyone just going to go back to farming one more time. But again, feels like this just favors Los Grandes. And Vivocade, I'm waiting for the moment. Maybe when Grell's flash comes back up, where we get the big Curse of the Sad Mummy, make Los Grandes very sad or something. Just try to blow open this game.
Yeah, because it's like you said, I think, and I remember my point from before, right? VivoCade, they've got themselves a composition where they need the game to be going at a certain pace. And with a jungler like Grell and with a jungler like Amumu, you have the tools to do that, right? And Gigo, he's certainly doing his job. He's creating his own leads. Grell going to drop this in the bottom wave. Got a nice little stacking, crashing cannon wave here. And Los Grandes, bottom lane opting to say, you know what? That's fair enough. Bam. So maybe not breaking open the game in terms of skirmishing, but in terms of gold, VivoCade Stars have themselves their biggest lead of the day. But again, it's really not that much. Something I want to say about Los Grandes, though, something we have seen is their mid game. It's almost diametrically opposed to that of VivoCade Stars. Los Grandes mid game is nearly flawless. The way they can absorb pressure is unbelievable. They know how to counterpunch. And this is maybe a side that we haven't seen before, because there's kind of two things you could do if your opponents are getting aggressive early.
Grell.
One is you absorb pressure. Grell looking for the big ultimate. He has that flash. Here we go. You were exactly right. Oh, he actually didn't even need it. Got the Q in and got it immediately. Holding on to it. Doesn't even need it. Debs grabbing the kill. Really clever stuff from Grell. Waiting in that bush. Getting the unsuspected angle.
I mean, VivoCade, honestly, I'm really liking the way they're playing this early game. Sure, there's been a blunder here or there, but Grell playing around the bottom lane so nicely. Steps having 2 kills now, having a bunch of plays from the Herald Dissolution, really starting to come online. And, I mean, I think earlier in the season, 4x4, the idea of VivoCade even being ahead in gold over Los Grandes at all, at any point in the game, would have been unfathomable. But they have, as we've said, been playing better. They're actually being able to press Los Grandes, and while the game is far from won, it is a good game state for them. And yes, while their composition does need to get ahead, and they are doing that, it's not like they don't scale either, right? So the fact that they're just able to find some of these plays and keep themselves, the game rather, at a good clip, make Los Grandes most importantly respect them, that is what matters. And now Herrit getting dove.
He's gonna get slammed here. Curse the Sad Mummy in fate, sealed indeed. Grevthar on the board with his first kill of the game, juggling the aggro nicely, and like you said, keeping the game rolling at this clip. Los Grandes, Lava here, maybe in some trouble, throws out the culling right back, but he was going to be able to 2v1 this. He is 3 levels up on both the support and the AD carry, gets himself a shutdown, and now things are starting to get hairy, because once that Rod of Ages is completed, now all this talk about deadweight gold, tier this, catalyst that, now it turns into damage.
Not only is the steps going down as well, Netuno going to be able to free farm on the bottom side, get a couple of plays, but no E, and that's TP. Hold up, this could get dangerous. No summoner spells available on Zay. He's almost certain to die.
Yep, he is toast. Just buying his team a little bit of time, drawing some attention away. But here comes Ranger, actually, so maybe they try to fight this. Wild Growth is not available. Okay. Maybe this is too much. Crastiel throws out the tidal wave. That's a good setup there. Ranger trying to get into the back line and get onto Crastiel. Gets the flash out, kill down. Natuno still free firing. He's completely untouched. In comes Grell. Double kill. VivoCade slug right back. It has been indeed a rock fight in this early game. VivoCade coming out ahead, but just barely.
This was the CBLOL that I was promised way back in the beginning 4x4, as this game has suddenly exploded. It's cross map after cross map after cross map. Los Grandes and VivoCade are suddenly in a cage match, but it's Los Grandes actually that I think are coming out on top. Guigo, though, might want to change that, as it could just be another counterpunch to the counterpunch to the counterpunch.
Man, he just hits so hard with the Divine Sunderer. Every empowered auto hits like an absolute truck. Here it is sitting on one item. Until that Mana Moon is complete, it just feels so rough.
Hear it. I mean, not really having the best game. Actually, a player that on Los Grandes, it feels like, has been struggling a little bit in recent weeks. Or rather, other teams have realized that you can pick on this player. And it has identified it as an exploitable weakness of Los Grandes. And I mean, Guigo, a top laner that has really looked to be at the top of the crop so far this year, or so far this split, getting it done once again. We'll get another look at this bottom lane play. I mean, Los Grandes, they're trying to cross map from the earlier top dive, but VivoCade, they've got teleport available. They try to make it happen, but Los Grandes, they just freaking send it in here anyway, because why not? We got a Wukong, we got a Zeri, but unfortunately for them, the other team has 5 members in the area.
And Grell, he got that ultimate up right there. I mean, he was hammering that thing, waiting for it to come off cooldown. I didn't even see the little animation, like, spark to life once the proverbial hands of the clock finished cycling. He had that on lock. If not for that ultimate, that could have gotten really, really ugly. And that's just good kind of champion awareness by Natuno and Ranger, knowing that they could in fact take that. Because when that tidal wave came out from Crastiel, especially in those tight angles, I thought that was history. I thought, dude, that's an overextension. That is the bad side of Ranger showing up. And I thought that was an easy double kill. I thought Crastiel was going to be completely safe, but not so.
So to take stock of the game, as it has suddenly slowed down again, you know, there hasn't been a kill in the last 30 seconds for once. I mean, Vivocade, they have very strong members. Grell, in particular, if you can find a big ultimate, will absolutely do work. And most importantly, their members are spiking right now. Meanwhile, Los Grandes Lava, sitting on only a couple stacks of the Rod of Ages, not really all that strong. And Steps, infinitely stronger on one item than Netuno will ever be as this Lucian. So, I mean, it's overall a decent game state. There's nothing for them to really fight for right now, and that's the problem. But with a couple outer towers having already fallen, they are walking into Los Grandes' jungle, trying to look for a pick, trying to find out a member, and continue pressing the pace of this game. Los Grandes, though, they are grouped up, and they do not want to let this mid-tier one fall.
No, Lava was up on the top side. He's retreated, gotten the shove onto Gigo that he wanted, coming down to help out.
Ooh, Herald.
Like you were saying, maybe looking to group up and grab themselves a kill. There goes the second Herald of the game, summoned by Ranger. Again, Grell got the first one, slammed it into that bot tier 1. This one's going right into the mid tier 1 here. Game pretty much even. Grell looking for the flash. Although he doesn't get the flash Q, and now he is in trouble. He does have the ultimate. He does have that second Q. He's going back in there onto Netuno. He found the 80 carry. There goes Grefthar trying to follow up with the wild growth, and Zeri having a Zeri moment, able to walk away. Vivocade still on the aggression, though, because Gigo is in the building, baby. Down goes Steps. Or down goes Zay, excuse me, Steps picking up the kill.
Netuno maybe having a Zeri moment, but it's Vivocade. They're fighting a fight. Can we call this a Vivocade moment? I don't think so, because they haven't won a lot of games, but my lord, it's actually really clean. Guigo with the deep TP flank, and Grell, even though he kind of misses everything, it just divides the fight completely. And Los Grandes, they were never able to draw their battle lines, and it is 2 easy kills to punish the tower going down. We could take a look at this one more time. Just watch the solo laners for Vivocade. It doesn't matter what the Amumu does, because no one on Los Grandes can walk up. Lava, Zay, Harriet, all getting zoned away, and even though Netuno gets out, it's so easy for Vivocade to just single out members and take them down.
It's been this all year, right? You can't call these mid-game skirmishes a Vivocade moment because there haven't been enough of them, but that is what they want it to be, right?
Yeah.
This could be. This is that
I'm willing
missing
to subscribe
piece.
right here, right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a Vivocade moment.
Let's call it a Vivocade moment. A good mid game that is that missing piece, but it's at any level of play. It is astounding. The more I cast League of Legends, the more I am able to see just the importance of a mid game. Right? You can have all the macro knowledge you want. You can have all the micro lane dominance you want. The bridge between those is what separates the good from the great at the top level, where the skill difference and where the experience difference starts to become marginal.
I mean, 4x4, as a North American fan a lot of the time, right? I've watched our teams get absolutely pounded in the mid game by the Eastern teams repeatedly enough to know that is absolutely what separates the good from the great teams. And whether or not it's at international or even in domestic play. And I absolutely agree at that point. And Vivocade, they've looked good. But again, this is shockingly similar to that game against Kaboom, where they found themselves a great lead with Grefthar on this Yone and Guigo on a carry top laner, and they failed to close in that one. The later mid-game towards the late game fights didn't go their way. This time around, I think their position looks really good. They have a great game state, but we need them to answer that question. Can they close out? And doing it against the team that has consistently been the best in the league all year is going to be a very tall order.
Here comes that TP from Lava. This man is making waves all across the map.
This might just be the game right here. Dragon Soul, or not Dragon Soul Point, rather, but third dragon of the game. Lava getting bubbled.
Oh, really good bubble. Crastiel! What a bubble over the wall. Shutdown goes to Grell. All the damage coming in, and now it is a 5v4 all of a sudden. There's that dragon you were talking about. They've got first purchase onto this. Easy cheesy, thank you very much. Gigo just going to take it himself. Grefthar and company can continue to pressure in the mid lane, playing 4-man bodyguard for that dragon pit, but hear it indeed up on the top side. And this is the thing. even if Vivocade have themselves a Vivocade Stars moment, have themselves a really good mid game, it's kind of tragic because they could do everything right, and running into this Los Grandes mid game might render it all completely useless. Grefthar answering, actually gonna get the solo kill on him, so well done to Grefthar.
Yeah, here it trying to cross map on that play, but Vivocade just able to answer. Grefthar has been really on point with these TPs, moving around the map and just denying so much, it feels like, of what Los Grandes wants to do. It's a great pick, as you say. Second Dragon picked up, and now the game most certainly not lost for Los Grandes, but they lose a window to fight. They're gonna have to wait even longer. Maybe that benefits them. Maybe they just need more time for their scaling composition. But again, Vivocade, we asked the question, could they continue to put their foot on the gas pedal? So far, the answer, maybe surprisingly, maybe not if it's a Vivocade moment, has been a yes. It's mid outer tower going down. It's top outer tower going down. Full control of the map over to their side.
Hats off. Or helmets off, I guess, to keep with their logo here, their mascot.
Spartan helmet, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Lava having that Curse the Sad Mummy ready and willing. I mean, yeah, as a Silas, you are going to find yourself in very similar positions to an Amumu in team fights. You are going to be all up in the business. And speaking of kind of, Evocade starts great. The mid game has been going pretty well. We're about to get into the late game. And something we haven't talked about enough, or not enough, we haven't talked about since draft, is this extra angle of, okay, Greftar's been on point with the TPs. Wonderful. Gigo, that's why you draft this man a Jax. That's why you draft the Jax, period. It is the premier side laning threat. And Gigo, he got himself those early couple kills. Who do you send to respond if you're Los Grandes?
I mean, here I think is at least strong enough to sit under tower and collect these waves, not allow Gigo to kill turrets. But to your point, 4x4, I mean, that's just a complete pressure vacuum, right? You're basically playing the map 4v5 in that instance, and it feels so bad. And when your team that wants to fight together as well, Vivocade being able to get to every play first with everyone in tow makes it incredibly difficult to ever find a good angle. And Vivocade, again, they're looking for picks. It's another potential bubble from Crastiel, just trying to find every single angle. They're flexing their muscles. And this is the point where you start to believe a little bit, right? Like, hey, we can maybe take down the best team in the league. 22.5 minutes in, we're up 3,000 gold. We've got 2 items on everybody that matters. Now, Lava does have the Rod of Ages fully stacked now. So Los Grandes, they're starting to see some return on investment for their carries, but it still feels like Vivocade's champions are just stronger at this point in the game. With the amount of map control that they have, finding a favorable fight is an even taller order for the side of Los Grandes.
I think it's going to come down to just that, finding a favorable fight, because
the timing on that ward, hold on. Did you, okay, they're going to back off immediately, but they had the timing on that ward expiring and immediately started the Baron as soon as it did. That was really cool from Vivocade. Unfortunately, Los Grandes is there to contest, but again, it's just forcing out a response right when you're ahead. Make Los Grandes march to the beat of their own drum, or rather your drum. Don't let them do anything that they want to do.
Now starting to back and get some resets here. Or actually, well, it's really just Crastiel grabbing himself. What will he find himself? Maybe nothing. Maybe just grabbing more words. Refilling. Finish up his boots. There we go. But yeah, and now we're going to start to fight over these neutral objectives and taking these proper fights, right? Taking the fights at the right moments. What call that numerical advantage, whatever you want, because we haven't seen the straight up 5v5 yet. And like you said, there's a composition for Los Grandes that wants to fight. I mean, all these compositions want to fight together, but you want to let Natuno and Zai go crazy, right? You want Lava and Ranger are there to create distractions, be different parts of that team fight. He's going to grab one there with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Lava able to dash away from a Crastiel bubble. Here comes the TP. Grefthar joining the fight here. Timed it perfectly. Lava in some trouble now, and he goes down. Steph's picking up another kill now. Ranger in the backline trying to do his thing, but he'll get chopped down. Grefthar over the wall with the fade. Sealed, soul unbound, going to drag him back, but Gigo is the problem that you've got to deal with next. Lightning Storm coming down, crashing onto Natuno, but that is just a dissuasion tool. Hear it. He can fire off these shock blasts into the pit. He can only do so much. Vivocade stars low on health bars, but full on control here of this Baron pit. They're getting chipped down, though. The damage from Natuno and Hear It could make this a losing proposition. It's not about contesting the objective. It's about making them pay for it. And it looks like they will not nearly as much as they could have.
Vivocade, they're going to get the Baron after 2 easy kills, should I say, 4x4, because it felt like Los Grandes simply handed them over. And VivoCade, they are doing it. 5,000 go to the lead. Baron in hand. This might just be the advantage that they need to fully blow open this game against the best team in the league.
Do we believe? That's the question you asked me, right? Could we start to believe in VivoCade? I'll tell you who absolutely believes. It's these players, and it's Grell in particular. Every day on Twitter since he's been here, after a win, after a loss, it's been, don't worry, we are making playoffs. Grell is fully convinced. I mean, like, and you want to talk about manifesting, right? Blind faith into something, speaking something into existence. I admire that, if nothing else, because that's not the type of person that I am. I am not able to do that. But Grell is fully convinced that they are making playoffs. So they believe. Side note, look at that damage graph on the left. That is something I did not expect to see. Hear it up a full 1,000 on anybody.
That's just the Jace experience right there. You let a shock blast and that number goes up by another 1,000, right? But yeah, I mean, VivoCade and that mental, that strong mental to say, look, things haven't gone our way, but we can still do it. It feels like half the battle sometimes.
Yep.
When you're down and most certainly not out. This team really feeling like they're turning over a new leaf, and VivoCade as well, or rather Los Grandes. Feels like it's been an uncharacteristic game for them. Some plays where they seem a little disjointed, an inability to match some of what VivoCade is doing, and now getting pulled around the map by Guigo and the rest of VivoCade. This Baron buff in hand, they are using it to excellent effect.
Yeah, here can farm those damage numbers with the Empowered Shock Blast. He's going down there to respond to Guigo. Again, we're in a TP stalemate, but this is what you got to do with a side lane threat like Guigo, especially with that Baron buff. That is where you can get the most value out of it. Stepping forward. Grell almost lands the bandage toss. Oh, and Lava's got himself another Amumu ultimate. They're looking to fight here over the wall. He's not able to find it. Crastiel going to launch the tidal wave right back. Double curse the sad mummy. Just kidding. It's just one so far. Crastiel dumps his damage in. Steps dumps the calling in over the wall. And Guigo going to take Hirit down on the other side of the map. This is ugly. Los Grandes come out on the losing end of the trade on the top side. And on the bottom side, Guigo is walking into wide open pastures.
Los Grandes just decides to fight for the tier 2 tower, not even under it, and they get taken down. Again, it just feels like Los Grandes, they're waffling in this game. They don't seem to know what they need to do to win this game or how to find a fight, because VivoCade is simply farming them as they walk in. The Baron might have fallen off, but the base is going to be cracked.
It's going to be cracked and then some. And now Grevthar, with nothing else to do, going to send himself into the mid lane. They might triple inhib here, Hawk.
No way.
This is, if not the final nail in the coffin, it is everything but that.
They're going to try.
There goes, yeah, the triple inhib. Ranger thinking about a response, but saying, look, I mean, we still are at a item and number disadvantage. Guigo actually TP'd back after grabbing himself a Cosmic Drive, so he was actually able to reset in between that. Let's take a look what happened in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume Guigo just kind of right-clicked Hirit, and that's about it. I said that Hirit could probably farm waves under tower, but yeah, that damage is insane, and Guigo was also 3 levels ahead. Hirit was level 14 to Guigo 17 4x4, as that is just an absurd EXP advantage for the top laner of VivoCade, and yeah, kind of just right-clicked him.
No, that's remarkable. And the stopwatch to guarantee that he wouldn't be going down to any other shenanigans. I mean, that to me felt like the quintessential, like, it's a very humbling place to be when you are behind in a game of League of Legends, whether you do everything right or not, but you feel yourself hitting your ceiling and you go, oh no, this is kind of out of our control now, isn't it?
I mean, and Hirit, I mean, again, solo killed at level 1. Just a huge blunder that really felt like it broke the game open. Los Grandes, they're going for the strategy that my friends and I do when we're down 10,000 gold.
Yeah, I was about to say, I did this last night, man.
Obscure bush and hope someone walks by. VivoCade, though, not falling for the bait, and now with 6 super minions conga lining into the base, it feels like this one's going to be a wrap 4x4.
Man, oh man, Lava gonna take the business end of the calling there. Looking down at your mini map and just seeing that wave of
Ranger?
red. I mean, it's like StarCraft. Ranger looking for that flank and actually able
Hold
to go
on.
in. Steps as the GA. Ranger trying to make it happen. He gets the shutdown there onto Steps. Ranger, or Grell rather, Polymorph here and
Okay.
taken out of the fight completely. But here's the thing.
This
Quigo
is
is wailing
over.
away on the Nexus. He's gonna create a number disadvantage here. Grell has the
minions.
ultimate still. If he can flash in and make something happen, there it is. And now the damage coming down on top. Grevthar slashing away at his opponents. And the quadra kill as well. Give him the penta. It's a penta Grevthar and Vivocade with a pentakill shaped bow on top of the victory. Turn the standings upside down. And you can see how much it means to these guys. Look at these smiles on their faces. These guys, they're probably not going to make playoffs, but it doesn't matter. You see how much this means to them.
Well, hold your horses there, 4-Way.